Hello, welcome back. Today I'm going to do part 4 of the Chinese genealogy book, also known as a zhekpo or a jupu. Let's take a look at the book I have. Last time I went over the middle character of a traditional 3-character name. Let's open up the book to a random page. Let's zoom in a little bit here. As you can see on the right-hand side, I have various characters. Each character represents one generation. There are 12 total. Let's take a look at some of them here. 12 characters total here. And the current generation is probably this one or this one right here. So it just depends on how many babies have you had. So that's the current generation of the Jill family. As I said, each character represents one generation. But how to find out which character to choose from? What if you don't have your family genealogy book? What resource can you use to find out which generation are you in? Well, let's refer to a specific website I found. Okay, here I'm at a website called sohu.com, but you can use any number of different websites. Some sayings about the actual generation and the naming scheme of the family here. Let's take a look at the English translation. Here's the English translation from the Chinese text. It says a generation name, also called a faction, refers to the characters in the name used to indicate the family generation, mostly the middle character of the name, commonly known as a faction. Sometimes the translation is not entirely accurate. Its meaning is to cultivate oneself, to regulate the family, keep the people safe, to govern the country, and to be auspicious, healthy, and prosperous. Generation names are an important form of naming that have been passed down in China for thousands of years. It's also a special ritual system ancient China has continued to the present day. Due to various reasons, people have become unfamiliar with the generation list, the jupu, since the 1950s and 1960s, and this phenomenon is more obvious among the younger generation. The descendants of the Zhao family, also known as the Jill family, Chu, Jichu, Chu, Ju, let's remember the generation names of our clan. Generations names are not only the earnest hopes and expectations for ancestors, for the descendants, but also the basis for us to trace our roots. Through generation names and ancestors, we can find relatives of the same branch. We must be determined to carry forward our Zhao culture and the prosperous Zhao family. So let's take a look here at the Chinese translation first. Here you have various clans here. These are called clans. So there's one clan, a second clan, and a third clan for the Jill family here. Each clan has 2 lines of text following it. This line of text, the following 2 lines of text, are actually a poem. I'm definitely not going to read the poem to you, but if you remember the poem, as every person should, the poem actually indicates the characters of the middle name in your family, in your 3-character name. Take a look at this poem right here. First line, second line here. So this poem contains all 12 characters of the family name, and adds additional characters to make the poem sound more fluid, because you cannot just have a poem having random characters. So let's take a look at the English translation. But before we do it, let's take a look at line 1 and line 2. The first line actually shows all 12 characters of the name. The second one has a little bit more deeper meaning. Both to remember both lines of the poem. Take a look at the translation here. So here is different factions or clans. So for the Jill family here, there are 2 or 3 factions. There's a Taizu faction, Taizhong faction, and a Wei Wang faction here. Here is the translation here. As of course, as you can see, it doesn't really make sense, but you can see it is a type of poem. The second line saying that he's loyal, honest, polite, modest, and modest. And the first line has a bunch of words here because that's not actually that is part of the poem, but it's not really a sentence per se. But take a look here. You have all the characters in the name. This one, that's the first generation, second generation, third generation. This here is an added word just to make the sentence more fluid. Here's another generation, another generation, another generation, another one, another one, another one, another one. And together they kind of make a sentence here. So that's how you find your generation name, the middle character. To find that, you can just go to this website called sohu.com, or you can use another number of various websites that will indicate your generation. To do so, you must find out your last name here. Here is the Jill family. Here is the clan name. And here is the middle character here. This is the middle character. Actually, these two characters indicate the second character of your name, which is this middle character. So let's just do a search. But you also need to indicate or find out which clan you're in. This last character here represents the clan here. Okay? So clan, clan, clan. There are 3 clans. 1, 2, and 3. Taizhou, Taizhong, Wei Wang faction, or Wei Wang clans. That's how you find out. And I'll list this website in the description. Thank you. Bye.